Okay, so Apple, a number of years ago, 2020, released the M1 series processors. Big deal, big change, ARM-based, changed the world, okay?
Been chasing that high ever since.
Everyone's been chasing that high. Microsoft's been chasing that high. Qualcomm's been chasing that high. They can never seem to do it because Windows just sucks. Unfortunately, it is truly not good.
Yeah.
Because they need backwards compatibility for like 100 years. So, NVIDIA, multi-trillion-dollar company, what do they do?
Ever heard of them?
You might not have heard of them.
They're the big bear in the room.
They're the biggest bear in the room. What they did was they made a competitor to the M1. It's called the RTX Spark Superchip. It's effectively a laptop / desktop PC version of the DGX Spark from last year, which was a personal dev kit AI box that combines CPU, GPU, all in one chip. Now they're going to put this thing in laptops, which is pretty crazy. We don't know really any performance. We don't really know any pricing.
We just have numbers.
We have a lot of numbers.
David, it has all-day battery life.
Up to. Up to all day.
See, I mean, it is a 3-nanometer process, so maybe it'll be okay with efficiency. But yeah, it's got 20 CPU cores, 6,144 GPU cores. They say it can have up to RTX 5070 equivalent graphics. We don't know if that's the 5070 on the desktop or the 5070 on the laptop, which are
When
very
they don't
different.
specify, you can probably assume it's the lesser.
Probably assume up to 128 gigabytes of unified memory, but it starts at 16 gigs of unified memory. All-day battery life, built in partnership with MediaTek. 1 petaflop of AI compute, 600 gigabytes per second bandwidth, or maybe that's gigabits. I'm not sure if I read it correctly.
Gigabits.
Jensen talked a lot about this being a platform for agents. He said agents a lot. He used that word many times. He said there are only 1 billion people, but there are so many more agents. I'm serious about this.
Make sure you pronounce it very carefully.
I also don't know why he said only 1 billion people, because I think there's about 8 billion people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Am I my take on this?
Let's go.
Based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
We got this announcement. We got them focusing very heavily on AI and agents and how, with up to 128 gigs of unified memory, you can run all these local large language models and do all this stuff and execute all these tasks and have even these optimizations. They talked about Adobe with like special versions. Obviously, you have CUDA cores because it's NVIDIA, but special versions of this new Adobe software where you can have it make stuff for you in the Creative Suite. Crazy agents happening on your computer. My take, basically, which is probably based on how little time I spend in this PC world, is the window for how good or bad this could be is
good one.
Enormous. No pun intended.
Windows.
But the window for how high the ceiling could be or how low the floor could be is huge.
Yeah,
I think how bad it could be is, okay, we don't know how bad like the base chip is. Okay, starting at 16 gigs unified memory, you got a bunch of cores and obviously a whole bunch of bandwidth, 3-nanometer process. And then it's just, base just replacing the Intel chip that you would have had level, and that's okay, and maybe it's a little too expensive. The ceiling is like, it is as good as the Apple Silicon chips, and it's better because of all the optimizations and the CUDA cores, and it has all this local, processing available, all this AI for all the agents you're going to run, so it's better for that sort of stuff. So the window, and obviously it runs Windows, so like, however into that you are, the window for how good or bad this could be is huge to me. Yeah. So I'm going to wait to actually get my hands on it. They announced a whole bunch of laptop OEMs are going to be making these RTX Spark laptops, and they're all very thin and very powerful, very premium looking. They all scream high price.
Yeah.
But they haven't announced any specs or prices or benchmarks yet. So I'm just going to wait until we get some in hand and actually use them, benchmark them, and see how good they actually are.
The DGX Spark last year was announced at $3,000. When it came out, it was $4,000, and then within a few months, it became $4,600. And then for some reason, the Dell version was $6,300. So yeah, they're probably going to be pretty expensive. Again, we don't really know anything about battery life. The DGX Spark pulled 140 watts from the wall. Hopefully it doesn't pull that much. It's going to be scaled down a lot.
Yeah.
Linus was saying something about 150 watts and then the battery life not...
That lasts like 2 hours.
Yeah, he was like, the math isn't mathing here, but like all of it because this is all at Computex, right?
Yeah.
And like,
well, there was Computex, and then there was NVIDIA had their own thing, and then there was also Microsoft Build, which happened like right after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they announced in it the Microsoft Surface Ultra, which is a 15-inch mini LED touchscreen, the largest haptic trackpad in a Surface ever. One thing that was
Looks
kind of
exactly like a MacBook Pro, by the way.
I saw that it also just looks exactly like a Microsoft Surface laptop. It's looked like, except maybe a tad boxier, like thicker and less of a wedge shape. But I just think it's looked like a Surface for like that for a while. The Verge said that like looked exactly like a MacBook, and I was like,
I
it
feel
also
like
looks
it
just
looks
like a
more like a MacBook, but maybe I'm wrong.
Surface Ultra is also a funny name. I mean, yeah, huge trackpad, black keyboard, thin bezels.
One thing I thought was
build.
interesting that Tom Warren said is, so it's got USB-C, HDMI, full-size SD, headphone jack, but there's an USB-C port on the right that he says looks a little bit larger.
Yeah.
And when he asked the Microsoft employee, they just smiled and said they'd have more to share later.
Which to me sounds like Service Connect port that uses
Like a
USB-C.
fast charger.
Like remember how the old Surface devices had that like
Yes.
detachable one?
It was essentially always like this weird, like long, I don't know, flat piece that would go into it and be like a proprietary fast charger. But you could also charge with USB-C in a different port.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my guess too.
It might be a
Just fast
breakaway USB-C like port.
charging. Interesting.
Yeah, so it could
Like-
have the magnetic capabilities,
So MagSafe
but
of it.
also be USB-C, which would be cool.
Yeah, I think it's just charging.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's anything that cool, despite him smiling and laughing
Grinning.
and being like, you'll find out later this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all, this is Windows and ARM. Again, we've seen it.
Yeah.
Surface has done it. With NVIDIA, though, being at the forefront and worth a magic piss load of money.
Yeah. There is a
This
higher
is the best
chance,
chance for sure.
There's a higher chance this works because NVIDIA has a lot more to lose than like Microsoft and Qualcomm did.
Yeah.
The thing that people are really upset at, though, is that there's not Linux support right now. And many developers use Linux. And so everyone being forced to use Windows is not making people happy.
Yeah, that could be a future thing. I mean, I expect them to listen to their audience at some point and maybe expand support. But yeah,
The response to Linus seemed very like, we are not thinking about that right now. We have a lot of other things to worry about before we're going to worry about Linux.
totally fair. They definitely had to launch this first and make sure it goes smoothly before doing anything else.
Yeah, so there's like a million questions that we're going to not have answered until we actually get units of these things in-house.
Yep.
Which is later this year. Like we're a while away from figuring any of this stuff out.
For sure. Maybe before Siri. We'll see.
Place your bets.
Before GTA 6.
Yeah, before GTA 6 or my Streetlight Manifesto album.
I'm weirdly like excited about this because there's a lot of like, advanced high production, like creative workflows that more and more people are adopting. We were talking about this in the car this morning, David, like adopting these like very sort of slim local models to take care of like one task in a really complicated production workflow. And with all the extra ports and the big trackpad on this Microsoft Surface, I could see this being like a weirdly useful laptop, with the asterisk being if this NVIDIA graphics engine has access to all the like NVIDIA specific graphics processes.
Yeah, Jensen made a big deal about the fact that this chipset supports literally everything NVIDIA's ever made.
So the idea that like these are like very hyper specific applications, but I could see a lot of like post-production workflows or like computers that run concert visuals or like things like that being able to do like really unique, powerful things on this laptop if it's like not, which unfortunately like it seems like they all end up being. So
I don't think this is going to be.
I don't think so either.
It's supposed to run through Windows though, and as a Windows user, we had to do this thing with a Dell monitor for a video we're making where it has a KVM and I'm switching between it. Setting up the Dell drivers for the KVM of this Dell monitor took me longer on the Windows PC than it did on the Mac. For just like it kept failing, and then just extracting it and actually downloading it literally took like 10 times as long. And I was messaging Marques like, I'm losing my mind here. And it was a Dell XPS laptop I was using that was like hurting trying to install Dell drivers.
Yeah.
It was infuriating.
Damn.
I want to be optimistic. I want to see when
I'm
they come out.
optimistic.
Hopefully we get these benchmarks going. And
Yeah.
Thank you for the big trackpad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
All
like that.
laptops need a giant trackpad.
I agree. The question sort of becomes like Apple has become the de facto kind of AI agent computers because they're like the best bang for buck right now. But if another company comes in and is optimized for that stuff, are people going to start moving over to, agent specific hardware?
If it's built for whatever you plan on doing.
Yeah, whatever that means. So
And can they safeguard? Like, I think another reason the Apple platform is so popular for vibe coding and agents and stuff like that is because you can really monkey around a lot in terminal and with bash commands and stuff and feel confident you're not gonna delete some system file that renders your computer completely broken in a way that I feel a lot less confident on a Windows system.
Satya did specifically say they're bringing a lot of that stuff to Windows now, though. Like they're bringing Homebrew to Windows. He announced that.
What?
Yeah, he announced that.
How?
He announced that at Build.
It's a how?
Ask him yourself.
That doesn't make sense. I thought Homebrew was a Mac thing. I thought it was a Mac
No,
repository.
he said we're bringing a lot of your favorite Mac stuff to Windows so that you can move.
Oh, how the tables have turned, my friends. For my whole life, it was like, oh, this is really sweet, but you can't do it on Mac, so I gotta own a Windows. Oh, I love this program, but it's Windows owned.
Yeah.
Now look at the Windows crowd, baby.
know.
Look at them crawl over to our side.
Have the turntables. Okay, so you know how you can now just vibe code apps on Android instantaneously with the prompt? Mm-hmm. We have to vibe code a group competition for the Fitbit. Has to happen.
Should be just one prompt, right?
Why are we not already competing, actually? Because you know how many steps I have this week?
You're ducking the smoke, bro.
50,000. How many steps do you have?
Probably like 51,000.
I'll see about that.
Can't verify it because I don't use a Fitbit.
But you did.
I did.
Wait, how many do you have? I'm actually curious.
I think I'd have to use the Apple Watch because that's the only one I've worn the last.
I can't tell if
7
this
days.
is still the Clips outro or now just a conversation. So like and subscribe.
Like and
See you
subscribe.
next week.
I'm legit curious, though.
That's perfect. Okay.